Hi everybody, this is Skip Elsummer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show. We're pre-recording again because I am traveling, flying exactly during the time of my show. But got some stuff lined up for you that we scanned last week. We're going to start off with Alone at Home. Then we're going to do The People Shop. And then finally, another Tales of the Riverbank, and this one is Autumn. And I don't think this one has any cliffhangers in it. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. But thanks for watching. I'll be back Wednesday. Is that right? Because this is for Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be back Wednesday doing a live show, and it'll be good to see everyone. So if you like what you saw or are watching, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, watch other films. Right now, a lot of people are watching different films, and it's really exciting. Shake Hands with Danger is still up there, but people are watching Farm Family in Winter. They're watching how to do Hindu worship at home. There's all these other films. It's really great. It makes me very happy. So keep watching new stuff because we have a lot. Anyways, we will see you tomorrow live. Everybody take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Use this leader to focus the picture and adjust the sound volume. The film will then be ready for correct projection.
Everyone looks forward to growing up, and it's a good feeling to be given more responsibility for looking after yourself. An important part of that responsibility is learning safe and fun ways to use your time when you are alone at home.
My mom works during the day, so from the time I get out of school till she comes home, I'm on my own. Hi, Mom, I'm home. Yeah, everything's fine. What do we do in school today? We do more long division. Sometimes I'm left alone with Jimmy if Mother's just going to be gone a little while. Looking after him is a big responsibility, but Mom knows she can depend on me.
My mom and Dad used to get a babysitter for me when they went out. But now, if they're just going to be gone for an hour or two, they leave me by myself. I used to feel a little funny about it, but now it's something I look forward to. It's nice to be alone once in a while.
Like a lot of other kids I know, I spend a lot of time at home alone. Now, if you're going to spend time by yourself, there's some things you should know about. One of the most important things is how to be responsible for your own key. Learn how to use your key, and of course, be careful not to lose it. You may want to put it on a string or chain around your neck, but keep the key hidden. Don't let anyone know that sometimes you're home alone.
If you keep your key in your pocket, put it on a key ring so it'll be easy to find if you drop it on the ground.
You know, it's real important to know what to do in case of an emergency. That's why my parents tell me who to call and what to do if something did go wrong. We started by making a list of all the important phone numbers. We included my parents' phone numbers at work, the police department, fire department, our neighbor who's usually home, and a relative who lives near us, Aunt Susie.
Put your list of phone numbers where they'll be easy to find. The best place is next to the telephone. It's also a good idea to carry a list with you in case you aren't home and need them.
When I have these phone numbers, it makes me feel a lot better about being by myself. This way, there's always someone to call if I need help. We gave an extra house key and a list of phone numbers to our neighbor, Mrs. Ryan. She's home most of the time, and if I ever need anything, I know I can count on her.
Next, find out exactly what your parents want you to do if there's an emergency.
That's right, honey. I want to be sure that you know what to do if something happens. For instance, if you smell smoke or see fire.
Mom made sure I knew how to work things I'd have to use, like how to set the thermostat. And how to lock all the windows and doors.
Something else you need to work out with your parents is what you can do and what you can't do. The first question I had was about using the telephone.
What is important about using the phone is knowing how often and for how long to use it.
Oh, it's okay to use the phone, but only for a few minutes at a time, honey. And that way I won't get a busy signal if I try to reach you in a hurry.
Then there's the question, what about leaving the house?
Well, unless it's an emergency, don't leave the house unless you tell Dad or me. And that way we won't worry about you.
And what about television? It's best to get answers to questions like these before you begin to spend time by yourself.
Since I was going to take care of Jimmy, Mom and I went over what I should know. Jimmy's still pretty young, so I have to be real careful to watch out for him. Mom taught me some first aid. I learned how to take care of cuts and scrapes, insect stings, and small burns. It sure came in handy one day when Jimmy fell and scraped his elbow. Since it wasn't a real bad scrape, I took care of it myself. Of course, I called Mom and told her what had happened. Knowing how to do all that sure makes me feel better about looking after my little brother.
Being on your own is a responsibility that begins as soon as you leave school. So unless you've made other arrangements with your parents, always go straight home.
Hey, we're going to the field to play football. Want to come? When?
Oh,
In about an hour. I'll have to ask my mom.
why don't I come to your place and wait while you find out?
Not right now. I'll meet you over at the field if it's okay.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Having friends over to your house is fine if your parents know about it. But unless they say it's all right, don't let anyone into your home when you're alone.
When I go home, there's some things I always watch for. I look for signs that someone may have broken in, such as a broken window, a window that looks like it's been forced open, or if a door isn't all the way closed. Don't go inside. Get to a phone and call your parents or the police. After I've made sure nothing is wrong, I go into the house and lock the door right away so I won't forget to. I also call my dad right away so he'll know I'm home. Hi, Dad, I'm home. Yeah, everything's fine. Good, you'll be home on time?
Sometimes when I'm alone at home, I get bored and lonely. That's why I always try to have something planned to do every day. I always like to do my homework as soon as I get home. That way, I can watch a couple of my favorite TV shows later. If I ever feel lonely, I call a friend and talk a while. Mom doesn't want me to stay on the phone for more than a few minutes in case she has to call me. But just talking to someone makes me feel better.
I always do the chores when I first get home. Then I can work on one of my hobbies. I like to grow things. It's a little work, but it's fun. And Jimmy likes to help me. Whenever I'm outside, I put the phone where I can hear it ring, just in case Mom or Dad call.
When you're home alone, you'll probably have lots of time to do things you really enjoy. If you want to leave the house, say to visit friends down the street. Be sure it's all right with your parents, and they know where you're going. And of course, be sure to take your key and lock the door. No matter how old you are, it's natural to feel a little scared once in a while when you're home alone. If you ever feel this way, the best thing to do is to talk to someone about it. Since your parents can't always be reached by phone, have the number of someone you can call and talk to.
Not too well. I'm a little scared. Nothing. It was not really big. My parents aren't home, and I haven't heard from them.
Sometimes, just talking about a fear will make you feel a lot better.
It's just that you weren't home when you said you'd be.
I'm sorry, son. From now on, if we're going to be late, we'll be sure to give you a call.
Okay.
One good way to feel better about being home alone is to know that you're ready for any emergency that might happen.
I've only been really scared once, when I was alone. That's when there was a big storm coming in. It was late and getting dark outside. There was a big flash of lightning. All of a sudden, the lights went out. Sure, I was scared, but my mom and I had talked about what to do if the power went out, so I was ready. Mom said that if anything like that happened when I was alone, the first thing I'd do is call her. Mom told me to wait for a little while. She said that when the power goes out, it usually comes on in a few minutes. She was right.
Jason handled that emergency very well. He stayed calm and did what he and his mother had talked about. When you're home alone, it'll be your responsibility to deal with people that call or come to the door. The most important rule to remember is never let any stranger know that you are the only one home.
No, she can't come to the phone right now. But if you'd like to leave a message, I'll have her call you back.
That's just the way to handle calls from people you don't know. Tell them that your parent can't come to the phone. You don't have to say why. Offer to take a message. If it sounds urgent, you can call your parent and give them the message.
Hello, Mom? This lady called by the name of Mrs. Williams. She would like you to call her. Her number is 635.
Another rule, never let a stranger into your house. Don't even open the door. Just talk through it. Here's one thing you might hear.
Who is it?
Hi, I'm a friend of your mom. I'm supposed to meet her here in a half hour, but I got here a little early. Would it be all right if I come in and wait for her?
No, I'm sorry. Please come back in a half hour.
Here's another thing you might hear.
Yes?
My car just broke down. Can I use your phone to call a tow truck?
No, but there's a coffee shop on the corner, and they have a phone. Or you could try the people next door.
But I'm late for an appointment.
I'm sorry, there's a phone at the coffee shop just around the corner.
If you don't know someone, don't let them into your house, no matter what they say or what reason they give. Be polite, but firm. Most strangers that come to your door are sincere and honest people. But when you're home alone, you don't want to take chances.
Learning how to take care of yourself is part of growing up. But there are some things that you should talk to your parents about before you spend time home alone.
Learn how to use your key, and of course, be careful not to lose it. Make a list of who to call if you need help. Find out exactly what your parents want you to do in an emergency. And what about using the telephone? Or having friends over? Know what to do if you see an open window or door. Call a parent as soon as you get home, so they don't worry. Never tell anyone that you're home alone. Always keep the door locked. Never let a stranger into the house. And if you're ever lonely or afraid, call someone. It'll usually make you feel better. Learning to look after yourself is part of growing up. And being alone can be a rewarding experience. Just remember some basic suggestions, and there shouldn't be any problem about being alone at home.
This is a people shop. A TV shop is where they repair television sets. An auto shop is where they fix automobiles. And a people shop is where people go to get well. Only we call it a hospital. Of course, getting well isn't the only thing we do in hospitals. Most of us, for example, were born in a hospital. Newborn babies and their mothers need an awful lot of care. And a hospital is the place where there are people and equipment to give that kind of attention. Sometimes we go to the hospital to see if there's anything wrong with us. X-ray machines show the inside of our bodies. A drop of blood, seen through a microscope in a hospital laboratory, can tell doctors a lot about our condition. A machine called an analyzer separates our blood and gives all sorts of information about what is right and what isn't right inside our bodies. But mainly, a people shop is where people who do have something wrong with them go to have it fixed. If they are very ill or hurt, they often come by ambulance to the emergency entrance. Here, doctors, nurses, and attendants are on duty day and night to give immediate help to people who may need it. Many lives are saved here in emergency by the speed with which these doctors, nurses, and attendants work. And even when the injury is not that serious, there is often pain. One of the first tasks in emergency is to fix things so they don't hurt. When a broken bone has been x-rayed and set, or a cut cleaned and bandaged, the patient can often go right home. But if he must stay, he comes under the care of people whose job is to make him well and comfortable.
Do my appendix have to come out?
We don't know yet, Mike.
My stomach hurts.
You'll feel better in a little while, I'm sure.
Patients do not always have to stay in bed. But when bed is prescribed, it is no ordinary bed indeed. A crank at the foot of the bed raises the head if you want to sit up, or the foot if that makes you comfortable.
Please report to X-ray.
For every patient in the hospital, there is a chart, a kind of book that tells your doctor at a glance what kind of progress you're making. Each time your temperature is taken or you receive medicine, it's marked down on the chart. Whether or not you slept well during the night goes there also, and any complaints of pain and discomfort that the doctor should know about. And every hospital bed has a buzzer. If something hurts, or you're afraid, or need a nurse for any reason, you just push the button.
Hi, can I help you, honey? Okay, I'll be right there.
Every minute of the day or night, there is a nurse on duty in every section to take care of all the patient's needs.
Hi, Kay. What's the matter? Can't you sleep? Want a drink of water? Okay. Here you are. Take a nice drink of water. Oh, I bet your mouth was dry. Okay, Kay, turn over on your side, and I'll cover you up. Okay. Okay, honey. There you are. Now stay covered up so you won't be cold and go back to sleep, okay? Good night.
One of the busiest places in any hospital is its kitchen. Many patients require special food because of their condition. And the hospital kitchen sees to it that each patient gets what is best for him. Some patients, for example, are not supposed to have salt. Some cannot eat solid foods. For someone who has just had his tonsils out, the main diet may be ice cream. And for a young ball player eager to return to training, a hot dog can make him feel a little closer to the ballpark. While many of our ills are made well by rest and medication, sometimes an operation is required. Nobody enjoys having an operation. But usually people are much more frightened than they really should be. In the old days, operations used to be painful, but today, the patient feels no pain at all.
Dr. Marinucci, we're going to put you to sleep now, okay? We'll just take your blood pressure first. This isn't going to hurt you a bit.
One of the doctors attending an operation is called the anesthesiologist. His job is to see to it that the patient does not feel pain.
That wasn't so bad, was it? Now we're going to give you just a little needle stick in your arm to put you to sleep.
Is it gonna hurt?
No, Mike, it won't. It's just like a little mosquito bite. Okay? You been bitten by a mosquito before? Huh? Sure. Okay, now look the other way. Take a little stick. Take a deep breath. That's the boy. Hey, you're great. Okay, now, Mike, you just close your eyes. Okay? And start to go to sleep. Be very easy for you. When you wake up, the operation will be all over. Ah, you're a great kid.
Basically, there are two methods of getting rid of pain during the operation. One is putting the patient to sleep and is called general anesthesia. Here, a mask, much like the one pilots and astronauts use, gives the patient a special gas that makes him sleep. The other form of anesthesia is called local and consists of treating just a certain portion of the body which is to be operated on so that it doesn't feel pain. The doctor who performs the operation is called a surgeon. A second surgeon is always there to assist him, and sometimes even more than one. There may even be other doctors and medical students who just watch the operation in order to learn. The surgical nurse is a very important member of the operating team. An experienced surgical nurse will usually know what instrument the surgeon wants before he asks for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Cleanliness is, of course, terribly important in an operating room. Germs that can cause infection must not be allowed near the patient. The gowns, the gloves, and the masks that the doctors and nurses wear and everything else in the operating room is sterilized and made free of germs before the operation. And all through the operation, the anesthesiologist stays by his patient's head, making sure that he doesn't feel any pain.
Hey, Mike, how do you feel?
Tired.
Yeah, I would expect you'd feel a little tired. But you're going to feel lots better later on. And if all's well, chances are we'll have you home by tomorrow morning. How's that sound? Okay?
We find the heart size to be enlarged and a rather globular configuration of the heart.
Most hospitals are also a school. Young doctors and nurses who have studied their profession in the classroom now learn to use it, working with real people under the guidance of experienced doctors. Many of these young doctors live right in the hospital. And because they are young, they often bring the special spirit of young people to the people shop. One of the strongest medicines in any hospital is the visitor.
315, the first right at the corner and the elevator to the 3rd floor.
Thank you. Mrs. Burns, please. She just had a baby.
That's Dana 4, the last elevator on the left to the 4th floor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to see Mrs. Johnson, please.
That's,
No matter what the illness or the injury, there are few patients who do not feel just a little bit better when a relative or friend comes to visit. And there are few whose spirit is not raised just a little because somebody has come to visit. Spirit is important in a hospital. Nobody enjoys illness. A sick person is often uncomfortable and sometimes afraid. He needs not only medicine, but also a lot of consideration and a lot of attention. For this reason, many people in every community spend several hours every week working without pay as volunteers in their neighborhood hospital.
Look what he's doing. Doesn't that look like fun?
Here it is.
There it is. What's that? Whoa, whoa, it's going to fall off.
Oh, I got green.
That's blue. It's going to go over. Now we put him back and give Stephen a turn. Okay? Since he gave you a turn, give Stephen a turn. That's a good boy. Put him on top. You want to put the other ones back on the spindles? That's it. Put some more on so that it doesn't fall off the top. Does that hurt? No. Don't pick the Band-Aid off, okay? Because I think they want you to leave it on.
It's better.
Yeah, that's right. It has to get better
You
before
take this off and it's better.
Yeah, but don't take it off until they tell you to take it off, okay? How would that be? That'd be all right if you wait until they tell you to take it off? Okay. Whoops! We lost our man, didn't we? Huh?
These volunteers have no medical skills. They take no temperatures. They give no medicine. What volunteers do is play games, talk, write letters, and do the things that patients can't do for themselves, but need to have done so they will feel more like getting well. This is how the people shop differs from the TV shop or the auto shop. People who work with sick people know that their job is something special because people's health and people's lives are something special.
That's the boy. That's fine. Can you straighten up just a little bit? Good.
For this reason, every community has a hospital where its people go when they need to. Where anyone, whether we can afford it or not, can go and be taken care of. Because people themselves are something very, very, very special.
I like the woods in autumn. The smell of the warp tanker. The air itself was with change.
and the hamster sensed a queer feeling of excitement he couldn't explain. Roddy, why do I feel like running, he asked.
Well, it's something to do with the weather, my friend, replied the rat. It seems to happen every year about this time.
The hamster listened very keen, the change in seasons to him. But, well, he still wanted to know why he felt like he felt. Well, Roderick couldn't answer him. Indeed, he said he'd often wondered the same thing himself.
Well, why don't we visit wise old Frog, he suggested. He knows old Mother Nature pretty well, so if anyone can give us the answer, he can.
Hammy jumped at the idea with rather disastrous results. But Roderick pretended not to notice what a mess he'd made. And almost before another leaf had touched the water, they were on their way. Downstream, the wise old frog was waiting for them. The animals always came to ask about the weather at this time of year. Hammy greeted him affectionately. Oh my, I hope I didn't hurt you.
Well, you know, the little fellow gets pretty excited, said Roddy.
The frog welcomed his two guests and asked what he could do for them. Then Hammy and Roderick both started in at once with a string of questions, and it was all the wise old frog could do to keep up with the answers. But, Mr. Frog, why is it that I feel like running? Asked Hammy.
Well, replied the frog, that is easily explained. You see, at this time of year, the weather starts to turn chilly, and all the animals have to run to keep warm. So, you see, you're not the only one, Mr. Hamster.
Well, Hammy thought that this was a wonderful explanation and asked Roderick if they might go for a walk through the woods and perhaps see some of the other animals running.
Perhaps, croaked the frog. Well, give everyone my best, will you?
Apparently this change in the weather made everyone feel like running, except the little motor on the boat, for it started reluctantly and promised not to run for very long. Roderick decided to give it a well-earned rest and headed into shore just as it wheezed to a final stop. The rat shook himself from his daydream and leaped ashore to follow his friend. But Hammy was well and truly ahead of him. He skipped through the woods as only a hamster can skip, exhilarated by the crisp fall air. Roderick came along behind, stopping to talk to various creatures of the forest.
Good morning, Toadstools. You look to be in fettle, he said.
We're to be covered up by our blanket of leaves any day now. See you in the spring, Mr. Rat. The hamster looked timorously up to see where the strange sound was coming from. And the hornets looked down to see who had stopped to look up, then returned to their work. Sorry we can't stop to chat, they buzzed, but must get our house stocked up for the winter. Well, why don't you go south like all the other birds, asked Hammy. Roderick hushed him up and explained the difference between hornets and birds. The dandelions sang out an invitation for Hamster to join them as they went to seed. Not being sure exactly what they meant, Hammy hesitated and stammered and then stared in wonder at their long gray hair, which seemed to blow away in the breeze. Oh dear, he murmured and ran off, thankful that such a thing did not happen to him at this time of year. It looked like the wise old frog was right again. Everyone in the forest was running. The hamster had never seen such furious activity, nor so many leaves on the ground. Now, he didn't know why the leaves were falling from the trees, but he thought it best not to ask and just to try not to step on too many for fear of hurting them. Oh, my, but it felt good to be outdoors. And Mr. Spider was busy wrapping up his web for the season, but he paused long enough to say hello and to wish Hammy well for the winter. Oh, goodness. Oh, there were such a lot of leaves, and, oh, dear, there's one that's lost. Poor thing. Poor thing. There were so many things to see, so much to do. The hamster could hardly contain himself, and all the leaves seemed to be falling on him. Oh! And then, inevitably, it happened. The rat looked up as he heard a muffled voice calling him, "Help, Roddy! Roddy, help!" But there was no sign of his friend. In fact, the only thing he saw was a pile of leaves that moved a little and squeaked, "Help! Help!"
Well, now, what's all the fuss about?
Inquired Mr. Toad.
Jumping grasshoppers are moving a pile of leaves. What next?
Next came the hamster, more than a little embarrassed, out from under his autumn blanket. Roderick was delighted to find Hammy safe and sound. But Turtle simply muttered,
"Oh, what a commotion,"
while Hammy crawled back under the leaves to hide his head in shame. The afternoon was not much further spent when Guinea Pig appeared on the scene. Oh, his bouncing and jouncing fascinated the hamster, and the two friends watched as though they were both glued to the side of the road as Guinea Pig hurtled down on them and screeched to a halt.
Well, fellows, you've wandered a little far from home, haven't you?" he asked.
The animals greeted each other and exchanged views on the state of the weather and its suitability for such activities as walking through the woods. Then Guinea suggested that perhaps he could give them a ride back home in his car. Well, Hammy accepted immediately, but Roddy hesitated. He said that first he would like a word with Guinea privately, if he didn't mind.
Well, why, certainly. It sure is a day for moving around, isn't it? Some people make an awful lot of noise moving around, though,
commented the Turtle.
Not to mention any names, of course, added the Toad.
Roderick leaned very close to Guinea's ear and whispered, "Don't drive too quickly." Hammy felt rather left out of the conversation until Roddy turned to him and said, "Well, all right, Mr. Hamster, let's go." What an occasion. A ride car.
Nothing to it once you know how,
chuckled Guinea. And despite the obvious disapproval of one or two of the bystanders, urged the rat to join him.
More noise, grumbled the Turtle,
and more noise there certainly was, as up they started, leaving Turtle in a cloud of dust.
"Hi-yo for the open road," shouted Guinea exuberantly.
Remember, Guinea, remember, you promised. Quick, held on tight. The hamster was having the time of his life. "Faster, Guinea, faster," he squealed. Guinea, please.
Whee!
Oh. Faster, faster, cried Hammy. But Kinney needed no urging. His eyes gleamed with the excitement of the chase, and he drove like a pig possessed. Look out! Faster, Kitty. Faster. Now, that's what I call a good run.
Well, it affects us all in different ways, my friend, suggested Roddy, still trembling.
Oh, isn't it a wonderful time of year? Asked Hammy. And the whole forest answered in a language that only the animals, and perhaps one or two children, can understand.